Alright everybody, hello. Welcome to my next video. Yeah, okay. So, I'm gonna play some Rocket League. But while I'm doing this, I'm gonna talk about some sensitive topics. And, I'm also not gonna lie to you, I have been drinking, so take what I say with a grain of salt. But I'm just gonna tell you my opinions on things, okay? Kind of venting a little bit, but also, like, telling you how I kind of really feel, alright? So the first thing I want to talk about is systemic racism, alright? Now, this term is flown around all the time, and it's just kind of annoying to hear, because people don't understand what the fuck they mean when they say systemic racism, okay? Like, they know what they've been told it means, but that's not really what it means, okay? Like, okay, so the most common argument that systemic racism makes, at least from what I've seen, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, you know, if a system that, it's that all systems in the United States, regardless of what it is, discriminates based on gender, based on race, okay? So, like, if there's a disparity between, like, black and whites in any category, it must be based on, like, racism in the system, right? But what I really find to be the case is that people don't really know what they're talking about. And god damn it, I got scored. Okay. So, yeah, okay, so there's a difference between systemic racism, okay, and racist and historical fallout, okay? So basically, if my race has been discriminated against, right, for a certain amount of time, okay, let's say slavery, right, and we've been put down and all this shit has happened, right, then of course we're gonna have disadvantages today, right, because of that discrimination that occurred in the past, because history has consequences, right? The thing that people don't seem to understand is, like, when it comes to the police, right? So, because low-income areas are prone to more crime, okay? You see things like, oh, fuck. This is really hard to talk and do this at the same time. Oh my god, that guy's making a video too. He can't. Anyway, it's hard to... So, it's like, okay, so... Okay, now I can think. Alright, so basically, like, cops... So, underprivileged neighborhoods, they, okay, have disadvantages, like, there are more crimes in those areas. So police those areas more often, meaning more black people get put in prison because more black people, because of history, are in low poverty areas, right? So if that's the case, then does that mean that the police are racist, or that the system has been, or that, not the system, but that history has put black people in a place where they're in areas with higher crimes, right? So it's like the police aren't racist nowadays, okay, because they don't discriminate based on race, but it just so happens that the race that is getting arrested more is black individuals, because a lot of black individuals live in poverty, live in impoverished areas, right? So it's not necessarily a systemic problem. Like, it's not the police being racist. It's the fact that those police officers have to police in those areas because there are more crimes, meaning they pick up on more crimes and they arrest more people, okay? And you think, oh, well, how do we solve this, right? What is the solution? Well, the solution is obviously more police in those areas, allowing for less crimes to be perpetrated, thus allowing the crime rates to go down, telling businesses it's okay to invest in those areas because there are low crime rates, okay? Bitch! Okay, if crime rates go down, businesses can invest in those areas because businesses aren't afraid of getting robbed every other day, okay? And when businesses invest in those areas and create more jobs, then less people have to commit crimes to make money. So then more people get jobs, less crimes are being committed, and then as the crime rates go down, you can pull the police out of those areas, and thus allowing more people to live crime-free lives in safe neighborhoods. Okay? That's how I see it. And there are definitely other factors that I have not taken into account, and I'm sure people will tell me about it in the comment section. But as far as how I see it, that is how I see it, okay? Exactly what I've said. That's what I believe is the problem. I think that in these lower income areas, there are more crimes occurring, meaning more cops, meaning higher arrest rates of minorities, because minorities tend to live in more impoverished areas, okay? And you might say, oh, well, why do minorities live in more impoverished areas? It's because, well, things like racism in the past, but also because a lot of minorities, they are minorities because they're not the majority, okay? They haven't been here as long as a lot of other people, a lot of white individuals, because this country was founded by Britain, right? So these people are moving in, some of them first family households, okay? Meaning they are the first people to move into the United States, or they are maybe second or third generations, and they're having to compete against white families who are maybe fifth or sixth generation families, okay? And you might be like, well, that's unfair to the kids growing up today, which is, yeah, a little bit unfair, okay, because these kids have to compete with people who have been here for a lot longer, right? But over time, it evens out to about average, I think. Okay, and mind you, I don't have the I'm drunk right now, so I don't have the fucking statistics in front of me. But I feel like logically I make sense here, right? So these lower income people who are mostly minorities because they are either first family, second family, third generation people that have moved to the United States are trying to make a living, trying to get better, and trying to allow family and friends and people of that nature to have a better life in the future, right? They're still working on their future. But it doesn't mean that the white man is out to get them every second of the day. No. It means they're less college educated, all of that, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that okay, just another topic that I'm going to jump into, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that colleges or schools are discriminating on race, okay? Like, let's talk about schools for a second, right? So, a lot of people think that, oh, we have to give more money to the middle schools, right? Or the high schools, because they're underprivileged high schools that are overcrowded and are being taken advantage of, or they just don't have enough resources to teach the kids. And yes, I agree, that is a thing, okay? And my number one solution for that would be school vouchers and things of that nature. School choice, basically, right? So if you live in an underprivileged neighborhood, you could choose to allow your kid to go to school in a different district that would be better, right? And a lot of the argument, like one of the biggest arguments I hear about this is, oh, well, that's just prolonging the issue, or that doesn't change the problem, right? Because these neighborhoods are still bad. They're just, people are moving out of them, or these school districts are just bad and people are moving out of them and going to better ones, so these schools aren't being taken care of, right? And so the kids that can't afford to move out or whatever, or go to a different school, they're still fucked because they don't have resources, they're overcrowded, and blah, 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 right? But here's my thing. It doesn't make much sense, that argument, okay? And mind you, this might be a straw man because I am drunk. I'm very drunk. I've been drinking a lot tonight, okay? But, this is as far as I see, right? If you allow kids to, or parents, to allow their kids to go to schools in different districts, the ones that can afford it, right? That would take those kids out of the system, and that the poor district that has no funding, or they're overcrowded, right? Well, if you take those kids out, then they become less crowded. They have more resources. They don't have more resources, but they have less kids that they have to give those resources to, right? Because those kids that could afford to move out have, and they've chosen to go to school in a different district. So if so facto is correcto, then those schools that have been historically underprivileged, overcrowded, less lack funding, well, they have less kids to take care of, so they have more funding for everything else, more equipment, more blah 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 to take care of their schools, their kids, right? I mean, I'm not being stupid in thinking that, right? Because if there are less kids, that means there's less resources that have to go into teaching, right? You don't have to buy as many books, you don't have to buy so many textbooks, you don't have to buy so many fucking MacBook, PC Pros, X, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that makes sense. But I mean, hey, if I'm wrong, feel free to tell me how wrong I am. Alright? I love hearing people who disagree with me. Also, I don't. So keep it to yourself. But also, don't keep it to yourself, because I want to hear what you have to say. So yeah. Anyway, I guess I'm not really thinking of anything else. Those are just kind of the two topics that I wanted to really cover here tonight. Oh, man. I'm getting fucking wrecked. I'm drinking and driving right now. But, I mean, if you enjoyed this, we could do, different drunk videos, I guess. I just want to talk about those two things. But, you know, if you didn't like them, that's cool. You don't have to like them. I mean, if you heard what I had to say, that's cool. Also, I'm drunk, so if you didn't like what I said at all, odds are tomorrow I'll be like, why did I fucking post this video? But if you did think that some of the stuff that I said was alright, then, you know, feel free to give me a like. Maybe even subscribe, because I plan on being drunk more, because I think being drunk is cool. Also, it's not because, you know, I don't want to beat anybody up, but, like, I could if I wanted to right now, and I wouldn't even feel bad until tomorrow, and then I'd apologize 10,000 times, but other than that, like, you just gotta be feeling yourself, you know? So, also, I know this is kind of random, but if you're dealing with depression or any type of thing like that, feel free to talk about it in the comment section, because, you know, I feel like a lot of people with depression don't really talk about it that much, and they might feel like, oh, I'm the only person going through these issues. But to be honest, even though, like, I'm a champion party goer and I fucking love my life, I also hate it immensely and I want to die. But also, I don't want to kill myself. But if you do, please talk to me, because I feel like I can maybe help you with that. Also, I'm drunk right now, so if we do have that conversation, I won't be drunk. Hopefully. But maybe I would be. But, you know. Anyway, y'all have a great night. And I hope maybe you have a different point of view, or you at least listen to what I had to say. Not agreed, but at least listen. So, good night.